Thursday, good week of practice. I thought Tuesday was good. I thought Wednesday was great. I thought today was good. I haven't watched the tape yet. Obviously, we just got done with the staff meeting, but looked like a solid day. We were hoping it would rain. LaSalle said he was going to bring the rain because I think we might have a little bit of precipitation on Saturday, at least at this point, but we got 48 hours. But we're ready for wet balls and everything else. So, questions?
One of the main themes we've talked to you and your assistants and your players over the course of the week has been just the unique look you're going to get on offense as far as the three quarterbacks, the 70-80% run scheme that Central Michigan pulls. Just how have the last couple of days gone in terms of what you've seen from your defense, just trying to get them ready for the task at hand?
It's been good. It's been really good. I mean, it's not like this foreign formations. It's not Georgia Tech offense, but it's normal formations that we've seen probably 5-6 years ago, or BC game. A lot of the BC, I'm sure they watched the BC tape. As far as just heavy personnel, I mean, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, 4 tight ends in the game at one time instead of a bunch of wideouts in the game, which we play with 3 receivers all the time. So that's what they see all camp. So it's just different. Every week we're prepared for 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends in the game. But then there's 3, there's 4. They just got a bunch of different big personnel groupings that we'll have to be prepared for. And we've had a good week with it. And it's nothing foreign to us as coaches, but it's foreign to the players when you don't do it for the whole month of August, very much of it.
And just on the flip side, when it comes to the pass, maybe not a team that passes all that much, but I think they had one explosive play, almost a 50-yard pass they completed against San Jose State. How do you keep the guys disciplined and just ready for attack through the air?
Just it's eye control, right? You got to have eye control. They're going to lull you to sleep and try to pop one on you to hit up. It was really a spread. The big pass was a spread formation that we do see, but we expect some pop passes to the tight ends that we've seen in the past. It's a heavy run look, and all of a sudden a tight end slips out somewhere, where they run what we call Y high. Those things we've seen in the past, and we've worked those. But it's just eye control out of the safeties, making sure that that tight end, did he block? Then you fit. If he didn't block, you got to keep. You start to get where's the ball, and forget that your tight end just ran by you. Things like that. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Okay.
Talking to Coach Trinkle, he basically said that most of their fourth down decisions are based on analytics that they study before the game. But how much of your fourth down decision making is based on analytics or stuff situationally going into the game versus a feel for the situation in the game when you're on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's analytics is everything we do. I mean, it's what you do. You have a good feel of what it is, and I don't talk a lot about the analytics because it doesn't really matter. But when we go for it on fourth down like we did last week, it's all based on the analytics of time of the game and all the. I mean, everything matters. It's a book about that thick. That Chris LaSalle will help me out with the analytics as far as what the go is. But every series it starts, Stephen, I'm telling Cade Bell on the P and 10 at the 25-yard line, hey, 1 is a go. He knows on first down. That means he knows he's got 4 downs really to get 10 yards. I don't tell him at the 3rd down that hey, because it would change your play call. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we talk about it's called sequencing. So we're sequencing plays. They're doing a lot of it because they're running so much that they feel like if they get 3 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, 3 yards on 3rd down, that it's going to be a 4th and 1. And I think across the country, depending on the score of the game, depending on the field position, that a go is pretty prevalent. Again, through the last 5, 6, 7 years, there's been more people going for it on 4th and 1, and you see it in the NFL as well. There's been more people going for it on 4th and 1. So everything's analytics. I mean, everything.
Do you think that's what's driven it? That like coaches have had to hear like, hey, forget your gut. Percentage-wise, this is what's probably going to pay off for you in the long run.
No question about it. And it's all field position. I mean, 4th and 1 at the goal line, it's a go for the most part. I mean, and then there's times where I'll change the analytics. If they say 4th and 4 is a go, I'm like, I'm like, okay, 4th and 3 is a go. All depending on how the game goes. So it's still a coach's decision to use analytics or not. So it's still a gut feeling. But it goes down to how the game has gone so far. You go for it in 4th and 1 early or 4th and 3 and you get it, you're going to keep going and have success. If you're not, the matchup's not good. It all depends on who you're playing, and it's all structured through that.
With playing such a unique offense, how much does it help that your defense has a lot of returners on it that know how to play with each other?
I think experience. Anytime you have experience out there, that's a bonus. I mean, I think experience is everything. So these guys have played, this type. Like I said, we played BC, which was heavy personnel. So it's not like we haven't done it for 10 years. So that's perfect. Let me go back to the analytics question real quick, because one thing I think it's important is every week it's different. Okay, I think maybe I kind of said that. If you're playing, Florida State or you're playing Duquesne, it's all going to be different based on. So it's a game by game what does it look like for this team based on the offense, the defense, what they do, what we do, where we're ranked in different categories. So it's not just a, hey, 4th and 2 is always a go at this yard line. It's every week is something different.
So is it considered like, is it, for example, saying, oh, Florida State was better at defending, X 4th down?
If Florida State is good on like their defense is elite run defense, then then we're going to be a little bit more careful. What are your chances of getting it on 4th and 1? So it's all based on who you play, and we grade out like we get into the 40-yard line. We get to rank our kickers and our punters and all those. Like last year with Ben Saul, our kicker rating was higher than what maybe it is when you're working with a true freshman like last week and you don't know what you have. So like 4th and 4 at the 35-yard line might be a go, where with Ben Saul's it might be like kick it. Does that make sense? So you're going to kick more of those, and it's based on your kickers and all those things when you cross that 50-yard line.
If you're in like just hypothetically like a 3rd and 8 at your own 42, like I know you said about your communication with Cade, are you saying to him, hey, you got 2 downs to work with here?
He knows ahead of time. He knows he's got 2 downs if he gets out. So I tells you, like if it's 3rd down and 6, and I say that goes at 3, okay, he can throw a short pass. He doesn't have to necessarily get to the sticks. Everybody protects the sticks, right? 3 yards, maybe 3 yards goes for, we've had plenty of runs on 3rd down that busted for touchdowns because they're playing the pass. And so all those. And again, it's based on the defense and the structure, and then we may check out of a play as well. So
these MAC teams have given you guys challenges before, 2 losses in the last 4 years. And then you got West Virginia right down the road coming up next. I mean, how do you keep your guys locked in and focused on this game and not look too far ahead?
Well, you just keep talking to them, and I think our guys are pretty good through the history of locking in one game. And last 4 years, I don't know who that is. I'm guessing you're talking Western Michigan, right?
Western Michigan,
which we won a championship that year, an ACC championship, and sometimes it's a good wake-up call for you too, right? Like you just can't. I tell our guys all the time, you just can't throw your helmet out and think you're going to win any football game. I don't care who it is. You think you're just going to line up and go to Acrisure Stadium and play football. Central Michigan's a good football team, a better football team than we faced a week ago, and they'll pose challenges. There'll be adversity in the game just like there is every game.
Is Cruz at a point in his development where he could play field and boundary, or is he still pretty much just boundary at this point in his career?
He could play both if we needed him, but in fact we've done that, and then there's also when we have middle field drills where we played in the middle field where you are the free, so it wouldn't be for him. But we like him playing in the boundary, but he's certainly athletic enough to go play to the field.
Is Jakarian ready for game reps? I don't think he took his carry yesterday or last week.
Boosie is ready. Boosie is ready if we need him. Yes.
Is this a game where we could see him?
You could see him. How it goes. Turn the boost loose.
I think Central Michigan, according to online, they maybe blitzed about less than 25% of the time in their last game. Is that kind of an ongoing thing you're watching this season to see how Eli does? That seems like that was the storyline from last year, that when teams started dropping into coverage, didn't blitz him as much. It was one of his biggest adjustments. Is that something you're watching kind of game to game as teams?
It's game to game, it's rep
drop?
to rep, and you don't know what they're gonna, what their plan is. I mean, everybody's got a game plan, right? We game plan, they game plan. Oh, they did this more, then we're gonna go to this. So everybody's got answers. That's why we game plan all week. It's why we're here till 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, stay overnight, whatever it is to get the job done. But that's why you game plan. But if they were 25% blitz, last week, they could be 50% this week. Duquesne tried to blitz last week. Quite a few times, and we peeped to the sideline, saw it coming, and then we can change the play to what we want and put ourselves in a good position.
Last Saturday, in terms of just what your eyes told you, and then leading up to now, what you saw in the film room, how did Shadarian Harrison's snap look to you?
Shadarian did a nice job. We trust Drip is his nickname. We trust him. He's gotten better. I mean, he was Conway Award winner in the spring, and he just continues to get better and smarter, and he's physical. He can tackle. He can cover. He's a good football player.
Do you like playing in the rain?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's football, right? I like playing in any weather we can get. So the rain doesn't bother us. That's why I wanted to go outside today. The elements are part of the game of football. We don't get to play in a gym or a dome. And I hate playing in a dome. So yeah, I like the elements. I like the sun. I like the rain. I like snow. That's football.
you saw a couple snaps from Jalen Williams on Saturday, but leading up to the game, you talked about how he's still getting into game shape. How do you think he looked?
I think he's in pretty good game shape. He looked good. He almost popped one, tackle by the ankle at the last second. He almost broke through there. But Jalen's had a good camp, and he gets better every week.
Oh, good.
Come on, one more question. Jeez, this is a short one. Even though I got all kinds of media today. Anything else?
Well, I'll ask him, since we were talking about Eli and blitz and coverage. It just kind of occurred to me as you were talking there. Well, given how Eli plays in his style, like, would you blitz him if you were defending against him, or would you try and drop into coverage and confuse him?
I think you got to do a little bit of both. I think all of one is not good for any quarterback. I don't care who it is. You blitz a quarterback to see how he reacts early, and it's just like if you go back to the SMU game. We went into that game thinking we're going to blitz the heck out of him because he struggled versus blitz. We didn't know if he could get to the second receiver. Well, he didn't look very good the week before against Duke, but he certainly got that crap fixed. The next week they had a heck of a good practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that dude sat in the pocket versus blitz and made the right throw. So you got. It's you find out in the game, where they are and what you can do.
Do you think as the season goes on, would you like to rotate the linebackers? I know you got Lappy and Lindsey in a little bit, but it was kind of like later. Would you like to, maybe rotate a little bit more?
Maybe. Okay, we got confidence in Lappy and in A.B. Ibrahim as well. He's gotten a lot better. I haven't really mentioned his name, and obviously Cam Lindsey. We feel good with those guys, but when I was a coordinator at Michigan State, matter of fact, we rotate more than I ever thought about. I'm putting my 11 dudes out there, and I'm playing with my 11 guys. Period. Go back and watch the tape. Very rarely did a backup get up unless someone said, "Hey, I need a blow." If they need a blow, then they get out of the game. But to play elite defense, you want to play your guys. Those guys earn a starting job, and you want to play those guys on the field. So sub's great if they need a break. Long series, 8 plays. If it gets to a 9 play, you're obviously going to do that. But if it's 3 and out every time, what are you going to sub them for? Those guys be bored on the sideline. Good question.
You think changing styles of offenses have affected how you can sub? Like if you're playing tempo offenses, throwing all of it, you might need to sub more than maybe
no
Big
doubt.
Ten
It's a
in
tempo
2010.
offense. Sometimes the tempo offenses aren't going to let you sub. The only time you can't sub is if the ball's on your hash. But we're looking at if we do, we got to go fast sub and we got to get it done. These guys got to sprint off the field, but we'll have an idea. If we see a guy tap on a play, we might not be able to get him out, but the next play we are ready to get him out if we need to. But there'll be slow tempo. They'll be milking the clock probably every second of it. So the guys will have more rest this week, so tempo won't be a problem. And again, they can come out in tempos too, right? They come out 2 backs and 2 tight ends and in tempos this week too. Who knows? We'll find out. That's why we get to play the games. Okay.